Welcome back to our Stoic journey. In part 1, we explored how a modern Stoic moves through an ordinary day with purpose and resilience. But living stoically isn't just about surviving the day. It's about building inner strength that transforms how we respond to challenges. In this episode, we'll dive deeper into Stoic practices, from voluntary discomfort to negative visualization, to exercises and discipline that sharpen both mind and character. These are not abstract philosophies, but practical, time-tested techniques that can help you grow stronger in the face of adversity. If part 1 was about laying the foundation, part 2 is about forging the unshakable self. Let's begin. Stoic 1. Stoicism and relationships, love, friendship, and society. 1. The Stoic view of human connection. For the Stoics, we are not isolated beings drifting through life alone. We are part of something larger, a web of relationships, a community, a cosmos. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself, "We were born for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of upper and lower teeth." In other words, just as the body's parts work together, human beings are meant to live in harmony. Our relationships are not accidents. They are at the very core of our existence. 2. The challenge of relationships. But relationships also test us. A partner says something hurtful. A friend disappoints us. A colleague undermines us. A stranger offends us. In these moments, the Stoics asked, "Do you control the other person?" The answer is no. You control only your own judgments, your own words, your own actions. So the task of a Stoic is not to demand perfect behavior from others, but to master their own response. 3. Love through a Stoic lens. To the Stoics, love was not blind passion, but a rational, steady commitment. Seneca once wrote that true love is not about possession, but partnership. Who has great power should use it lightly, and in love, it is not chains that bind us, but affection. A Stoic in love does not cling or control. Instead, they cherish without attachment, enjoying the presence of their partner while remembering that all things are temporary. This perspective doesn't make love colder, it makes it more grateful, more compassionate, less demanding. 4. Friendship and virtue. Epictetus described friendship as a union rooted not in convenience or pleasure, but in virtue. True friends, he believed, help each other grow in wisdom and character. They are companions in the pursuit of the good life. A friend who flatters you constantly is not a Stoic friend. A friend who challenges you to live with integrity is. Seneca wrote countless letters to his friend Lucilius, offering guidance, encouragement, and philosophy. These letters survive today as reminders that friendship is one of life's greatest treasures, not because of entertainment, but because of shared growth. 5. Dealing with difficult people. Of course, not all relationships are easy. Marcus Aurelius began his meditations with this reminder. "Today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness, all of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil." In other words, expect difficulty, expect rudeness, expect betrayal. And when it happens, do not be shocked. Instead, be prepared. The Stoic approach is not to lash out, but to see others with compassion. They act badly, not out of malice, but out of ignorance. This mindset allows patience where anger would normally rise. 6. The Stoic citizen. Stoicism was never just about the individual. It was about the role of each person within society. Marcus Aurelius saw himself as a servant of Rome, not its master. He reminded himself constantly that leadership was a duty, not a privilege. Similarly, Epictetus taught that we are all citizens of the world, a concept known as cosmopolitanism. No matter where you were born, you belong to the larger human family. Thus, the Stoic sees every person, stranger, enemy, foreigner, as kin. 7. Forgiveness and letting go. When someone wrongs you, the instinct is to hold resentment. But the Stoics warned that resentment chains you more tightly than the offense itself. Seneca wrote, "Anger, if not restrained, is more harmful to us than the injury that provokes it." Forgiveness, then, is not a gift to the offender. It is freedom for yourself. By letting go of anger, you reclaim peace. By forgiving, you prevent someone else's mistake from ruling your soul. 8. Raising the next generation. Stoicism also extended to parenting. Children were seen as entrusted souls, not possessions. Parents were urged to raise children with reason, resilience, and virtue, not to shield them from hardship, but to prepare them for it. Epictetus advised against spoiling children, warning that indulgence makes them weaker, not stronger. Instead, a Stoic parent gives love with discipline, compassion with guidance. This way, the next generation continues the chain of wisdom. 9. Relationships as mirrors. The Stoics believe that relationships serve as mirrors, revealing our own weaknesses. If someone's insult angers you, it shows you still crave approval. If someone's rejection crushes you, it shows you still cling to externals. If someone's success makes you jealous, it shows you still measure life by comparison. Thus, every interaction becomes training for the soul. Every relationship, whether joyful or painful, is an opportunity for growth. 10. Closing reflection. A Stoic life is not lived alone on a mountaintop. It is lived here, in the marketplace, the household, the workplace, the city. It is lived in love, in friendship, in citizenship, in service. To be a Stoic is not to withdraw, but to engage, wisely, compassionately, courageously. Put your men under training. That is the Marcus Aurelius summed it best. Human beings have come into the world for the sake of one another. Either teach them or bear with them. And so the modern Stoic, like the ancient one, seeks not only inner peace, but also outer harmony. To live well with others is to live with purpose. Stoic 2. Handling adversity and unexpected challenges. 1. Life's unpredictable nature. Imagine this. You're on your way to work, and your car won't start. You're in the middle of an important meeting, and your internet drops. You've planned a relaxing evening, but a sudden phone call shatters your calm. This is life. It rarely unfolds exactly as planned. The Stoics knew this better than anyone. Wars erupted, plagues spread, emperors were assassinated, fortunes vanished overnight. Epictetus reminded his students, "Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well." The Stoics didn't try to control fate, they trained themselves to flow with it. 2. Control versus acceptance. At the heart of stored resilience is the dichotomy of control. Some things are within our control. Our thoughts, choices, actions. Most things are outside our control. The weather, traffic, other people, fortune. Adversity stings when we confuse the two. We rage at traffic, curse bad luck, or resent people's actions. But all the anger in the world cannot move a storm cloud or change a stubborn colleague. A Stoic accepts what cannot be changed and focuses only on their own response. 3. Turning setbacks into strength. Seneca wrote, Fire tests gold, misfortune tests brave men. To the Stoic, challenges are not punishments, but opportunities. Every setback is training for the soul. An insult? Training in patience. Delay? Training in calm. A loss? Training in detachment. A failure? Training in courage. This mindset transforms life. Instead of asking, "Why me?" the Stoic asks, "How can I use this?" 4. The role of premeditation. Earlier, we discussed the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, imagining possible misfortunes in advance. This practice is especially powerful for building resilience. Before the day begins, a Stoic might think, "My meeting may be canceled. My friend may disappoint me. My health may feel weaker." By visualizing difficulties, they aren't crushed by surprise when adversity comes. Instead, they nod and say, "Ah, I knew you might arrive. Welcome, teacher." 5. Small vs. great adversities. Not all challenges are equal. Some are small. A rude comment, a late bus. Others are heavy. Losing a job, enduring illness, facing grief. The Stoic response adapts accordingly. For small adversities, the practice is detachment. Marcus Aurelius would remind himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." For great adversities, the practice is courage and endurance. Epictetus, who was born a slave and walked with a crippled leg, taught that even the harshest fate cannot touch a virtuous will. 6. Adversity and character. The Stoics believed adversity reveals who you truly are. Anyone can be calm in comfort, patient in peace, generous in abundance. But what about when life shakes you? Can you remain calm when insulted? Do you stay just when tempted by gain? Do you show courage when fear looms? Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Your character is tested, not in easy times, but in storms. 7. Adversity as universal. It's important to remember no one escapes hardship. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome, yet he buried children, fought endless wars, and battled illness. Epictetus lived as a slave. Seneca endured exile. If emperors and philosophers could not avoid suffering, why should we expect to? The Stoic answer is not escape, but endurance. Not complaint, but courage. Not despair, but wisdom. 8. Practical tools for resilience. How can we apply Stoicism when life suddenly hits us? Here are a few practices. Pause before reacting. When adversity strikes, don't rush. Breathe. Give your reason time to catch up with your emotion. Reframe the challenge. Ask what opportunity hides here. Even in frustration, there is a chance to train patience. Remember impermanence. Hardship, like pleasure, passes. No storm is eternal. American rising. Focus on duty. Ask, what is the right thing to do here? Purpose steadies the soul. These simple practices can transform adversity from an enemy into a teacher. 9. The highest freedom. The Stoics taught that the greatest freedom is inner freedom, the ability to remain unshaken regardless of circumstances. Epictetus, who had every reason to despair, declared, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True resilience is not about controlling the world, but mastering your own mind. 10. Closing reflection. Life will always bring unexpected storms. Some will be small annoyances, others will be crushing losses. But the Stoic learns to face them all with the same steady spirit. You cannot choose your fate, but you can always choose your response. And in that choice lies power, dignity, and peace. As Marcus Aurelius put it, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Stoic 3. The power of negative visualization. 1. Why? Imagine the worst. At first glance, negative visualization sounds, well, negative. Why would anyone want to imagine losing their job, their health, or even their loved ones? The Stoics, however, saw it differently. They understood that life is uncertain and nothing is guaranteed. By reflecting on loss before it happens, you build two powerful qualities. Resilience. You are less shocked when hardship arrives. Attitude. You value what you have more deeply, knowing it could vanish. Seneca put it plainly. Who robs present ills of their power? Who has already rehearsed their coming? 2. The practice explained. Negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, was a daily exercise. A Stoic would pause and imagine. What if I lose my wealth? What if I am exiled? What if tomorrow I am gone? The goal was not fear, but preparation and appreciation. Imagine you hold a cup of coffee in the morning. You remind yourself, this cup may slip and break. When it does, you won't be as upset. You already accepted its fragility. At the same time, you savor its warmth more while it lasts. 3. The illusion of permanence. Most suffering comes from forgetting that nothing lasts forever. We live as though our possessions are guaranteed, our loved ones eternal, our own lives endless. Then, when change arrives, we are devastated. The Stoics urged us to see reality clearly. Everything is temporary. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This reminder is not meant to depress, it is meant to awaken. Knowing time is short makes each moment shine brighter. 4. Gratitude through contrast. Think about this. The surest way to value something is to imagine losing it. Imagine never seeing your child again. Suddenly, every hug becomes precious. Imagine never hearing music again. Every note feels alive. Imagine never waking tomorrow. Today becomes a gift. Negative visualization sharpens gratitude. Instead of taking life for granted, you see it as fragile and miraculous. Seneca compared life to a loan. We are not given life, but only lent it. We must be ready to pay it back when called upon. 5. How to practice negative visualization. You don't need hours of meditation. Just a few moments each day is enough. Here are 3 simple methods. Morning reflection. Before your day begins, picture small setbacks, delays, disagreements, losses. Ask yourself, if this happens, how will I respond with calm? Gratitude visualization. Look at what you have. Your home, your health, your relationships. Imagine them gone. Then let the relief of having them now wash over you. Memento mori. Remind yourself of your mortality. You don't know if tomorrow will come. Live today as though it might be your last. These practices soften life's blows and sweeten life's blessings. 6. Facing fear with courage. Many fears are worse in our imagination than in reality. Seneca observed, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." By imagining worst-case scenarios, the Stoic reduces their sting. You realize, even if wealth vanishes, even if reputation crumbles, you can still live with dignity, courage, and virtue. Suddenly, fear shrinks. You no longer live in dread because you've already rehearsed survival. 7. A story of appreciation. Picture a father in ancient Rome, walking with his child. He pauses and whispers to himself, "This may be the last time I see her." And it sounds harsh, but it isn't. It makes him more patient, more loving, more present. He doesn't waste the moment on irritation or distraction. We can do the same today, whether it's dinner with family, a call with a friend, or even a quiet walk alone. Remembering impermanence makes every moment meaningful. 8. The balance of practice. Negative visualization is not about obsessing over doom. It is about balance. Too much, and life feels heavy. But practiced with moderation, it becomes a daily reminder. Don't cling too tightly. Don't take for granted. Don't delay what matters. The result is not despair, but joy. A joy rooted in clarity. 9. Freedom through acceptance. When you accept that you may lose everything, you become free. Free from fear of loss because you've already faced it. Free from greed because you appreciate what you have. Free from regret because you live with urgency and gratitude. This is the paradox. By imagining death, you learn how to live. 10. Closing reflection. The Stoics practice negative visualization not to darken their days, but to brighten them. By rehearsing loss, they prepared for hardship and learned to love more deeply, forgive more quickly, and live more fully. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." Negative visualization is not a meditation on death. It is a meditation on life, fragile, fleeting, and infinitely precious. In Stoic 4, practicing discomfort. 1. Why seek discomfort? In today's world, comfort is everywhere. Heated homes, soft beds, instant entertainment, endless food choices. Life has become a cushion. But the Stoics saw this as a danger. Comfort without challenge weakens the mind and body. It dulls resilience, patience, and courage. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." The Stoics didn't avoid discomfort, they embraced it, voluntarily, deliberately, to train themselves for life's unavoidable hardships. 2. The ancient practices. Stoic philosophers used simple methods to cultivate resilience. Cold baths or showers, exposing the body to cold, was a daily exercise in endurance. It reminded them that discomfort is temporary and manageable. Simple meals. Eating plain, modest food helped them resist indulgence and appreciate what they had. Minimal clothing or bedding, living with less, prepared them for loss and fostered self-sufficiency. Fasting. Short-term fasting trained self-control and reduced attachment to luxury. Each act was a small test. Could they endure without complaint? Could they maintain inner peace? 3. Modern Stoic discomfort. You don't need to live like a Roman philosopher to practice Stoic discomfort. Modern equivalents include taking cold showers, skipping caffeine or sugar for a day, limiting social media use, deliberately standing up for a tough conversation instead of avoiding it, doing a task you normally procrastinate on without complaint. These small actions build mental toughness, teaching you that you can handle more than you think. 4. Building fortitude. Fortitude is the ability to endure difficulty without surrendering to fear, anger, or despair. By voluntarily practicing discomfort, the Stoic trains fortitude in small doses, so that when true adversity strikes, they are ready. Marcus Aurelius wrote, Every day, I must remind myself, this is what I feared yesterday, and I survived. Today, I will survive again. When you repeatedly face small challenges, your mind learns that hardship is not catastrophic. You internalize resilience. 5. Discomfort and gratitude. Paradoxically, embracing voluntary hardship enhances gratitude. Eating a plain meal makes a rich meal feel extraordinary. Walking in the rain makes the sun feel warm. Skipping a favorite indulgence reminds you of its value. Discomfort sharpens perception. It reminds the Stoic that life's comforts are gifts, not entitlements. 6. Strengthening self-control. Stoicism emphasizes mastery over desires. Discomfort is a tool for self-betrayal. Every small resistance trains the mind. Resisting laziness strengthens discipline. Resisting anger strengthens patience. Resisting overindulgence strengthens moderation. Over time, these habits solidify. The Stoic's mind becomes calm, focused, and resilient, unshaken by cravings, moods, or external chaos. 7. The psychological effect. Practicing discomfort also rewires perception. What once seemed difficult becomes manageable. What once caused fear becomes routine. The Stoic learns, I am stronger than I think. I can endure more than I imagine. This mindset reduces anxiety, increases courage, and builds confidence. Daily life's minor inconveniences no longer provoke stress. They feel like familiar exercises in fortitude. 8. Lessons for everyday life. Traffic. Instead of cursing, use it as a moment to practice patience. Cold mornings. Embrace the chill as a test of willpower. Difficult conversations. Face them rather than avoiding, practicing courage. Tough workouts or fasting. Use them to strengthen body and mind. Each choice becomes a rehearsal for life's larger storms. 9. Endurance as freedom. The Stoics understood that discomfort is a path to freedom. Freedom is not wealth, leisure, or luxury. True freedom is mastery over the self, unshaken by circumstance. By voluntarily practicing hardship, the Stoics strengthens their independence from fortune's whims. They become free because they no longer fear loss, pain, or challenge. Epictetus wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Discomfort is the gem where this mastery is built. 10. Closing reflection. Voluntary discomfort may feel unpleasant in the moment, but it yields profound rewards. Mental toughness, emotional resilience, clarity of mind, deep appreciation for comfort, freedom from fear and dependency. In embracing discomfort, the Stoic turns everyday challenges into opportunities for growth. And with this foundation, the Stoic is ready to face anything. Life's unpredictability, loss, and even tragedy, without losing peace or purpose. Stoic 5. Connecting with core values. 1. What are core values? Core values are the principles that guide your life, the compass that directs your thoughts, words, and actions. For the Stoics, knowing and aligning with your values was essential. Without this, even the most disciplined routines, the strongest resilience, or the most profound reflection could feel empty. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Values are not abstract ideas. They are the daily choices that reflect who you truly are. 2. Identifying your core values. Before you can live by your values, you must identify them. Ask yourself, what principles matter most to me? What kind of person do I aspire to be? How do I want to treat others? What do I refuse to compromise on? Common Stoic aligned values include wisdom, pursuing truth and understanding; courage, facing challenges bravely; justice, acting fairly toward others; temperance, controlling desires and impulses; gratitude, appreciating what you have. Take time to reflect deeply. Writing them down can help crystallize them. 3. Values as a daily compass. Once identified, your values act like a compass, guiding decisions both large and small. When facing a difficult choice, ask, does this align with my values? When tempted to react in anger or envy, ask, does this reflect the person I want to be? When struggling with distraction or indulgence, ask, am I acting according to my principles? In this way, values transform life from chaos into meaningful action. 4. Living with integrity. Integrity is the alignment of actions with values. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Living with integrity means speaking truthfully even when lies are convenient, acting kindly even when others are harsh, pursuing purpose even when it is difficult. By living in alignment with values, the Stoic creates inner peace. There is no conflict between desire and duty, no regret over choices made, no fear of judgment because your actions are grounded in principle. 5. Values in relationships. Core values are equally vital in relationships. Justice ensures fairness in dealings with friends, family, and colleagues. Courage allows honesty in difficult conversations. Compassion fosters empathy and understanding. When your values guide interactions, relationships deepen and flourish. You no longer react impulsively or selfishly. You respond intentionally, building trust and respect. 6. Values in adversity. Adversity tests your values more than comfort ever will. When insulted, your values of patience and self-control help you respond calmly. When facing loss, your values of courage and resilience guide you forward. When tempted, your values of integrity and moderation keep you on course. Values are the anchor in the storm, the internal compass that prevents you from being swept away by circumstance. 7. Values and decision-making. Every decision, big or small, is an opportunity to honor your values. Consider career choices. Do they align with purpose and virtue? Friendships. Do they foster growth and integrity? Daily habits. Do they reflect discipline, mindfulness, and moderation? When decisions consistently reflect values, life becomes coherent, intentional, and deeply fulfilling. 8. Practical exercises to connect with values. Daily reflection. At the end of each day, ask, did I live according to my values today? Where did I succeed? Where can I improve? Visualization. Imagine facing a challenge. Visualize acting according to your values. This strengthens habit and courage. Journaling. Write about decisions made, challenges faced, and how values guided you. This reinforces clarity and commitment. Affirmation. Repeat your values to yourself each morning as a reminder of the life you are choosing to live. By integrating values into daily life, they move from abstract ideas to lived reality. 9. Alignment leads to peace. When actions align with values, inner conflict diminishes. There is no guilt from compromise, no anxiety from inconsistency, no doubt from wavering intentions. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Peace emerges not from circumstance, but from the harmony between principle and practice. 10. Closing reflection. Connecting with core values is the foundation of a Stoic life. Values guide reflection, shape resilience, enhance relationships, and provide purpose. They are the lens through which all experiences, joy, adversity, success, failure, are interpreted. A modern Stoic who knows their values and acts upon them lives not at the mercy of fortune, but in mastery of self. And that concludes part 2 of our Stoic series, The Stoic Practice, Building Strength. Today, we saw that discipline is not punishment, but freedom. By choosing to face discomfort, by imagining loss before it strikes, and by practicing self-control, we prepare ourselves for life's hardest moments. Remember, the Stoics didn't just talk about wisdom. They lived it, tested it, and practiced it every day. So take one of these exercises, whether it's a cold shower, fasting, or reflecting on impermanence, and try it in your own life this week. In part 3, we'll explore how Stoicism connects us to others and helps us live not only for ourselves, but for the greater good of humanity. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss the next episode in this series. Until then, stay resilient, stay grounded, and stay stoic.